Yeah, sounds like my kind of nightmare. Nonsense capped by dread and terror. My most vividly remembered dreams involved creepy Woody, and this was before the character came to be. Be me, small child. Have closet in my room, really just a big hole where a closet should have been, and a big drape closing it off. Drape doesn't cover the tip top of the closet space, things packed on the shelves peek out. Get a Toy Story Yahtzee game with Woody and Buzz featured on the box art. They're not renders from the movie, instead they look like someone took actual toys and posed them. Look really off. They aren't all bright and emotive like the movie, they just stare dead ahead with a creepy smile. All board games go on the top shelf in that closet, uncovered by the drape. Yahtzee positioned so that Woody stares right at me from out of the closet. Dumb kid, vivid imagination, and horrid fear of the dark and supernatural. Most nights I spend hiding under the covers trying to catch any sense of sleep at all. Woody's creep face doesn't help. Over the course of several years, I have these nightmares where Woody and Buzz terrorize me and my family, frequently killing us and mauling my younger sister. Woody is like the boogeyman to me. But it's not Woody specifically because this thing is not Woody. I still very much enjoyed the movie Woody. This fucker stays with me for years, and I never say anything about it because I figure I should grow up and get over it. Ahaha, dumbus. Eventually comes to a point where I confess my fear to my parents and tell them I don't want the game anymore because it sucks to be around. They're disappointed to get rid of what is otherwise a perfectly fine board game, but they do it for me. Relief. I have one final dream about Woody and Buzz. In the dream, my entire family is afraid of the game box. We're huddled in our living room around the coffee table with the box sitting center. Woody and Buzz are trapped within the box art, writhing around and shouting malicious obscenities about murder at us. Fuckers. Priest walks into the living room. Memory is a little blurry, but blue fire engulfs the box, but doesn't destroy it. Priest literally just picks up the box and throws it into the kitchen trash. I walk over and stare down at in complete relief, like a great weight was lifted from my shoulders. Remember getting great sleep that night. From then on, I never dream of Woody and Buzz again. Start getting better sleep. Stop hiding under my covers as much. Generally feel happier. Fuck you, Milton Bradley. You cursed my early childhood with this horrible fucking box and simultaneously predicted and/or birthed an internet creepypasta meme. X. Do you believe some people are evil personified and have the ability to harness their bad actions as literal power? Be me. Born into a family with dark secrets, evil, vile woman for a mother. I get the hell away from my family at 17 and keep my whereabouts a secret by avoiding putting my name on any lease, live with GF wife in secret essentially. Purposely avoid social media. French Franks, I have children now and I've moved on from the trauma of my past. One night I get phone call. It's my mother. Instead of hanging up I hear her out. We have a long conversation, catching up, but I am cautious. She asks where I live, and I refuse to tell her. Well, maybe one day we'll work towards that, and I can see the kids. That very night, my mom kills herself. French Franks again. I have a dream that I'm woken up in the middle of the night to a knock on my door. I get up and look out the peephole and see nothing. I open the door and a shadow is standing there. The shadow walks into my person. And I shoot awake, covered in sweat. I know it was her. Things start breaking around the house all at once. Weird shit pops up on my phone and computer as autofiller predictive text. Start to see my mother's name everywhere. My wife suggests saging the house and does so. During the process, blinds break off the window and the power goes out. My wife pauses to assess everything and then forgets to continue saging. I nod off on the couch for all of 3 seconds. The moment I'm unconscious, a bloody gored-out face fills my vision, and it shouts my name anon. I jolt awake. Not only do we sage the house, but we do a bunch of other shit to rid the house of evil spirits. I never told my wife all the terrible things about my family and feel it necessary to tell her. She weeps. We literally break the lease and move. Nothing like that has happened since. Was my mother possessed, or was she a demon incarnate? I've been lurking on this general for some time, and I want to tell my story with my unintentional summoning. Part 1. Be me last year. Was lonely, and even though I had women to sleep with, it felt meaningless, empty. Say fuck it, let's read about these semen demons. Start lurking on this general, read about the ritual, about the experiences of others, and whatever else was posted. Think a one-night stand would be fun with a spirit. Find a night when I'm alone at home, I have a roommate, and read that you should be alone in the house. Kept hyping myself to do this. I start to question the decision. What if it goes wrong? What if she doesn't leave? So I end up doing nothing, have a wank, and go to sleep. That night I have a dream, a very erotic dream. I was naked in some sort of Greek-style ancient manner, but with Turkish influences, pillows everywhere, a huge carper, etc. My hand gets grabbed by a small girl. The body of hers was petite, like Pipper Perry or mini stallion. Medium long black hair and her skin. Her skin was the color of brick but a lot darker. She started leading me through the house. No words, just small glances from here while showing a very warm smile. Everything was so warm. Not like the air was warm, but a warm, calm and happy feeling inside that expressed itself outside us wheel. She bring me to a room. In that room was every single girl I ever saw naked or imagined naked. Halilith.Bible. All of them happy to see me. Look at the small girl. She just looks at me with the same warm smile and understand without any words that this was all for me. The sex itself I couldn't remember, but that war feeling lingered even after I woke up. I felt so good, like everything in life was great. No longer felt alone. Be me, 10 years old. It's Friday, so I'm hanging out with all my friends. It's also Friday the 13th, and I was superstitious, so was a little uneasy throughout the day. Two of my friends, David and Jack, lived in the same neighborhood. We all decided to spend the night at David's. Parents were home to buy pizza and shit, but were playing basketball in Jack's driveway because there were no cars blocking the court. Life is good. Junkie, red 2002 Honda Civic pulls up by us and stops in the street. We ignore the car for like 5 seconds before realizing it was just idling there. We all stop playing and kinda stare at the car. Window rolls down. It's some skinny white dude with a hoodie on, shades, and greasy mustache looking at us. My friend David asks what he wants. Guy just sits there silently. Weirded out, we all start walking back to David's house. It was only 2 to 3 houses down from Jack's. Without breaking eye contact, Guy starts to reverse and follow us. We all start running and the guy keeps following. Make it back to David's house, and his dad just got back with pizza. We all start yelling about how this guy is following us. David's dad starts walking up to the car pissed off and already cussing him out. Guy just shouts back and cusses us all out before speeding off. We're all shaken up, but after like an hour or two the feeling subsides and we enjoy the rest of the night. We're all sleeping in David's living room. Wake up at like 2 to 3 a.m. David's parents had guests over earlier, but I figured they'd all gone home by now. Don't know why I woke up until I hear someone messing with the garage door handle. Heart starts to pound out of my chest. The rest of the house is pitch black and everyone else is asleep. Hear the door open completely. Fight or flight kicks in. I'm fucking running. House had carpet flooring, except for the kitchen. My nimble footsteps make no noise because I was like 50 and 100 pounds at the time. Be me, 8 years old. Briefly meet my friend's cousin, quiet guy, doesn't say a word to me beyond hi. Weeks later. I dream I get out of bed and go to the kitchen, in the middle of the night. No lights on, can barely see. Friend's cousin is in the kitchen. He pulls his face off like a mask. Underneath, he looks like a cross between a skull and dark purple raspberry, hard to explain, but fucking terrifying. Eyeballs and eye sockets stare at me while he grins. Suddenly I'm at school, the next day. Walking with friend. See the guy from my dream. Friend warns me about him. I say I know. I've seen him before. Walk around him so we can see his face. Half of his face is missing, revealing monster face. Everyone acts like this is normal. I slept with my parents for the rest of the night. Fucked my mind up for a while, that one. I've got one. It's not super spooky or anything, but it's one of only 2 experiences I've had, and more interesting than the second one. Be me, somewhere around 12 years old. Sleeping in my room at the opposite end of the house from my parents, connected by a hallway. House is pretty new, my parents had it built when I was 8-ish, lot was undeveloped before then, no history of anything. Wake up in the middle of the night, no big deal, I'm not really scared of the dark. Not sleep paralysis, because I can move. As I'm shifting around trying to get comfortable and go back to sleep, a formless blackness rises up through the floor. Literally just like a void of darkness floating in the middle of my room. Doesn't speak or move or anything, but just radiates pure hatred. I somehow know that it wants me dead, that it hates every living thing. Still able to move, but so terrified I just freeze and hope nothing happens, can't even bring myself to make a noise. It floats there for a few minutes, just a seething ball of rage in middle of my room. Eventually seems to lose interest and floats sideways out through the far wall of my room. As soon as it's gone I get up the nerve to call out Mom. And then just start crying. Mom comes in, and I can't even articulate what happened or why I'm upset. She gets her rosary and sits next to my bed praying until I finally fall back asleep. Never happened again, never had any other experiences in that house. Might as well tell the second one. Be me, 20-yo college dropout, living in shitty basement apartment. Place is basically a flophouse. 2 bedrooms, kitchen, bathroom, living room, plus a storage closet, used to be the boiler room for the building. 7 roommates, 6 plus me, plus usually random folks who passed out the night before. One morning I'm alone in the apartment for once, roommates are at work, no randoms hanging out. I'm a little hungover but stone sober. Sitting in living room trying to get up the motivation to do anything. Lights are off, only light is from the sun coming in through the little 1x3 windows in the living room. Kitchen is really dark, has no windows, and doesn't get any direct light from living room windows. See an even darker shadow through the doorway to the kitchen, about 3 feet tall, standing in a corner. Shadow seems to be stationary, but has this weird jerky wave going along one end. No worries, figure it's just a garbage can, and the cat swatting at the oversized bag hanging off the sides, like he does. After 10 or 15 minutes finally decide to go make breakfast. Turn on kitchen light, shadow disappears, nothing in that corner. Remember roommate took trash can outside to dump and rinse out before going to work, never brought it back in. Fuck it, I'm not hungry, gonna go find something to do for the rest of the day. That place generally had a bad vibe, but that was the only time I ever saw anything. There were a lot of rumors about it though. Bikers killing each other in the kitchen in the 80s, a woman strangling her kid on the back steps that connect the kitchen to the laundry room, several odds. I doubt most of them were true, but something was definitely fucked about that place. Tell us your dreams if they're interesting or mean something to you, or if you want to know their meaning possibly. Here's mine. Be me, dreaming. Hiding in my own house, without any lights. Doors and windows have been boarded up and barricaded. There are evil gnomes outside, looking for me. They have wands with some kind of crystals on them. Gnomes use these wands to enslave your mind. Hear something in the house and investigate. See movement in the dark corners. My suspicions are confirmed as I hear gnomish laughter. Slowly raise my M1911 and aim. Something glows faintly in the darkness. Empty my mag in there before they enslave my mind. Hear scratching and knocking on the barricaded windows. They have found me. Wake up. Be me. Lose a friend. Hear a voice, if you want him back, you have to sacrifice a part of yourself to become. Pray to entities what the voice said. Become a crow, X's favorite animal. Fly around, doing crow things. Try to communicate with people in my dream for help. They shoo me away. Once they saw me trying to draw a upside T in the dirt, they want to capture me and rip my wings off. Fly around desperately to find my ex. See how beautiful the sunset is and fly around cities and areas at night, admiring its beauty. Wake up. Hear crow cawing a lot. See crow symbolism everywhere. Feel very much connected with them. I don't get it.